Welcome back to the Prosperity Portal podcast. I'm your host, Jill Alana, and we have a free prosperity masterclass on October 19th where I'm doing free mini intuitive reads, a Jai activation, a energy boost, an energy clearing, and it's going to be a sample of what the Prosperity Portal membership is like for the live calls. So if you are keen, then definitely sign up for that below. As I said, it's free. It's going to be an amazing community, so much fun, and you will get so much vitality and inspiration from this masterclass and the energy work that we're going to do. I also have very exciting news. The Prosperity Portal Retreat for May 2026 is now open for early bird applications. The applications are linked below in the show notes. If you have any questions, by the way, feel free to email teamjillalana@gmail.com. This is the most powerful portal of transformation you will ever enter. Miracles happen at these retreats. We've had people manifest their beloveds, manifest dream houses, two women manifest dream houses, citizenship in record time, their dream car, their dream partner, dream wedding. One woman manifested 6 figures at an event. You can see that on the landing page. You can scroll down. It's in the video testimonials. Deepening in union. And really, this is all about becoming your most authentic version of you and transmuting trauma on a deep core level with somatic work and reclaiming your power, your purpose, and your potentials through integrating your shadow, so that you are the driver, the victor of your life versus your unconscious wounds driving your life and you calling it fate, because it's not. Carl Jung. The things that are unconscious, aka shadow, run our life and control your electromagnetic field, your energy field. And then we call it fate. It is not fate. You're literally controlling it. And when you integrate your shadow, illuminate it, and transmute the dense energies that were stopping that integration from taking place, then now you have your full power, your full presence, and your life purpose begins to reveal. And this is how you become the vortex and a powerful AF manifester. Literally. It is bonkers. So there is no retreat out there like this. I have gone to so many, and honestly, I wish I could come as a participant. But I'll be facilitating, and it's like a family vibe. You guys get to talk with me. You can ask me anything. Last year I did mini intuitive reads for everyone, which were literally not mini, and those are typically 4 figures. They were like full intuitive reads. So perhaps we'll do those. We have some surprises, which I can't tell you about. You'll have to come see. It's on the Sunshine Coast, which is just off of Vancouver, BC in Canada. It's at a beautiful location. Everything's included. It will be taking place in the yurt, but you have your own, a shared room, your own bed, at a beautiful resort. There's a cold dip, there is a sauna, there is a spa, there is a hot tub. You can book a Lomi Lomi massage with Jen, who's one of the owners and such a beautiful human and also powerful healer. Yes, we will be doing Jai breath work for those who have asked, and Jai activations, and a lot more. It's going to be a ton of fun too. One of my superpowers is making like the deepest core healing so fun. And you walk out transformed and you're just like on cloud 9. You're like, I don't even need anything. I don't want anything. I just feel so good. And by default, you become a magnet to all the miracles. That's how it works. So that is below. This will likely be the last retreat of this sort in a while. Everything's included. We have an amazing private chef as well. And the reason is because we're switching to more of an immersion style moving forward. And that might only be accessible to my high level mastermind that I run with my dear soul sister and business partner, which we're going to be doing a year-long mastermind for. So I don't know when or if we will do another retreat of this intimacy again. So get your butt in if you feel the call. Get your application in. Let's chat. Let's make sure it's in alignment. And you will meet the best soul community from all over the world, and I do not say that lightly. They all say that. They're all still freaking friends from across the world. So soul family from across the world, and literally you becoming a magnet to your dreams and clearing all the energetics out of your field that aren't in alignment and that we're actually blocking, stopping, or slowing down your soul manifestations. Let's go. And without further ado, let's go to the show. Hello and welcome to the Prosperity Portal podcast. I'm your host, Jill Alana, and I'm here to support you in everything you need to prosper in health, wealth, and relationship. I'm obsessed with everything manifestation, soul path, intuition, somatic embodiment healing, and I'm looking forward to supporting you in liberating to a life of love and luxury. True empowerment, true sovereignty, and aligned soul manifestation. I'm the founder of Jill Alana International, Jai Activations, and Jai Breathwork. And without further ado, let's go to the show and get you resourced in everything pro your spirit. Hello, loves. So today we have a very special guest on this Instagram live about from being stuck to skyrocketing. We have my dear, hello, there she is, my dear friend, client, student, all of the things, Megs. Oh, oopsies. Hello.
Okay, wow.
So good to see you. Okay,
So
so
good to see you too.
thank you. Telling everybody. For those of you listening on the podcast, we are doing Instagram Live, so dismiss the tech stuff at the beginning. I was just telling everybody that we are talking today about from being stuck to skyrocketing and
Yeah.
your journey as a dear friend, client, student, all the things. You have a really powerful story and journey. So let's start from the top.
Yeah, okay. Oh my gosh. Where to start? So I definitely started out, we met what? How many years ago has it been? Like right during CVID. So like 2020, I want to say, like right kind of after that. Was it before
It
then?
it was 2021, I believe, the summer.
Yeah, so it was right after that whole thing had happened.
Yeah.
And
Oh, your sound cut out.
wait, is this working now?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. I'm also learning tech for lives. But yeah, so it was right after in 2021 when I first met you, and I was in this like dead end job. It wasn't really dead end because they were promising all of these like potentials for growth, for opportunity, but I just absolutely hated it. I was not
Yeah.
in alignment with what the culture was. If you think like America's dream of working in a corporate environment, that's really what it was.
You're
So,
living the dream.
sell your soul, please. So I was
Yeah.
working one of those kinds of jobs, and I had had my spiritual awakening a little while prior to that, like actually in 2017. 2016, 2017, but I never met anybody that was actually interested or knew any of this stuff. So when I finally met you, you came to one of the events that I was like co-hosting at and
Yeah.
well, like hosting or whatever, and you did the breath work, and I was like, holy Toledo. This breath work is incredible. I had suppressed my emotions and I was just so numb for like 5 years. Nothing was kind of coming through at all for me other than just complacency and
Yeah.
depression. If anything else came through that wasn't depression, it was like riddled with anxiety. So
Yeah.
definitely not a good place to be. The shamanic breath work that we did just like blew that gate open where I was able to connect again to not only like my emotional self, but I want to say like my soul self.
Yeah.
Back to who I truly was like all along. It just got
Yeah.
kind of hidden and buried away over time. So from that, I think we really just kind of like built a friendship. We started bonding over eating oysters. And then from
Oh, and
eating,
water machines.
oh, and water machines. Yeah, so we both got these water machines that are absolutely amazing if you want one. Um, let Jill or I know. We can hook you up. Um, we became obsessed with water, and then I started actually studying Reiki from you, which was
Yeah.
so weird. I always came from like a scientific mind behind everything. So I was like, how do I can share this onto mine as well. I don't know how to do that.
Cool.
Because then we can maybe,
I, I thought it did that automatically.
I
I'm
don't
so
know. I don't know. Anyway,
so
so
before Reiki,
yeah,
I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. Well, actually, let's talk about the Reiki for a second because,
yeah,
well, we can come back to it because you were in my first Reiki course that I did solo, not with my teacher, but the first one that I launched, nobody signed up for. We'll come back to this. We'll put a pin in it.
yeah,
Fast forward. Okay. So yeah, so you did the Reiki. Oh yes, and the attunement.
yeah.
I'll let you explain.
So one thing that I literally didn't understand about energy work was I knew it mentally, but I don't think that I had a soul understanding of it until I went through the attunements. So with every level of attunement, in order to become the next level of yourself, you really do have to shed off that old version of you. That
Yeah.
old version of you has to die in order for the new version of you to be birthed and in order to like step into your highest timeline or however you want to call it.
Yeah.
So every attunement I got from you, we did Reiki level 1, and then I became hooked. I was like, oh yeah, this is so good. Reiki level 2, Reiki level 3, um, all of them. I think I lost a job at every single one because my egoic self kept clinging to, oh, but maybe I could do this corporate job. Maybe this corporate job is what is in alignment. No, maybe this one. No, it was never corporate. It
Yeah.
was not in soul
Well,
alignment.
yeah. And we're not dissing corporate, but it just like what you were doing was not in soul alignment. And that's the power
Exactly.
of this energy work is that whether it's like, I call it Jai breath work now, but what she was referring to, the shamanic breath work, um, which I infuse with energy healing or Reiki. Like when you're training in energy, when you're getting attuned, when you're becoming a facilitator, you're walking the path. Just like when you launch a course, the
Yeah.
work is working through you. And so anything that's not in alignment with the path will start to get pulled and dissolved and dropped out of your life. What the heck? Oh, we're using the same mugs.
I love these mugs so much. I really like the fox one a
Thank
lot. I
you.
think it's so cute.
I have that. I thought I was using it today, and I guess it's a different one. Same company.
Yeah, I love that company.
Of course, yes, they're indigenous, native Northwest. If anyone wants them, okay.
Yes.
Let's get back to it. So
Back to
basically,
it.
eggs that the 2 minutes. She's like, this is great, and then like she calls me like I lost my job, and like intuitively I'm like, ooh, wait, what was your job again? And then she like explained it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like the
Yeah.
stress process. She's like freaking out. I'm like, I know this too well. I've been through it many times and still go through it. And then you had a more aligned job, so that was good. And then kind of like the same process happened because it wasn't fully in alignment.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then kind of, and then you started helping me with breath work and facilitating that, with doing Reiki for that. And then I guess we can fast forward to you felt the pull for private mentorship.
Yeah.
And what
So
happened
then I
there?
did. That was that was so weird because I think that when I felt that pull, it had been like a few years of me really like integrating into all the energy healing of doing like the daily energetics myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then the private mentorship really came about because for a while I've realized that for my own soul alignment, it wasn't corporate for me as much as I tried so hard for it to be, because clearly I kept
Yeah,
clamoring back to it.
you
Um,
tried so hard.
I really did. Like I was like, no, this has to be it because like everyone says it is. But that's so different from like what your soul's calling is and what your heart is telling you to do. And I
Yeah.
just knew that there was something else out there, and I kind of like really geeked out on learning about like how the mind works, clinical hypnosis, and how like how the subconscious mind works, because when everything that I learned from you with energetics, a lot of it still is bound by the confines of how you mentally perceive things. So
Mhm.
perception is so freaking important.
Yeah.
And energy does kind of like go through that.
Yeah.
So I kind of fell into that, and I started to have this like little seed of desire deep within that I was like, I just really want to help other people that have felt as lost and as, can I swear, like effed up as
Yeah.
I felt. I was just so
Yeah.
emotionally destroyed at that time.
Yeah.
So I felt the pull to do private mentorship because I knew that that was something that I wanted, yet I also kept shying away from and feared.
Yeah.
And as much as I was learning about how to like repattern the subconscious and like the neuroscience and learning all the energetics and stuff like that, um, it was something that I knew deep in my heart that like it's so much better to just do it with somebody that can guide you through it. Like, I just saw your
Yeah.
recent post about accountability, and that was
Yeah.
just like hit home so hard because so
Yeah.
many people are just lost in thinking that they have to do it on their own, and that's a wound.
Yeah.
That's like a core wound that you think you
Yeah.
have to do everything on your
Uh,
own.
yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
I talked about this today on Soul Sale September. Like I don't know if you saw yesterday, I did a live on commanding a quantum leap because I just made a massive investment in myself and my business. And I've made so many, but I've never paid in full and I've never joined a container at that caliber. And my
yeah,
mind like tried to trick me out of doing it. My body was like, yes. And there was like these other opportunities that my mind was like, yes to. And they were like a bit cheaper. And like, I mean, they were all a multiple five-figure investment, but it was all of the deep wounding that was trying to stop me of like the sisterhood wounding and I'm not good enough and like, oh,
yeah,
like I should be able to do it myself. And I was like, I don't need this. I don't need this, but I desire this. And
yeah,
those who need it, they don't want it. Those who want it,
right.
they don't need it.
Yeah,
And yeah, I did a whole Instagram live. It's on the podcast. I highly recommend listening to it. But
very excited about it then.
yeah, you'll love it because I'm like, I am literally walking this path like with anybody I'm coaching or mentoring. I prefer the word mentor, or like who are in like trainings with me, teachings, like studying energy work, whatever it is. I am walking the path with them. And I literally said on
Right,
Soul Scale September today, I'm like, the two things that hold me accountable are like my mentors. And I'm like, now that mastermind will hold me accountable as well. Like when I don't
right.
have a private mentor, like I sleep on my potential. I'm like, I want this thing, but like, do I really? And like, but when
Yeah,
I do, I have to like report to them and I'm like, I admire you. And it holds me accountable, and then
right.
my community holds me accountable. So like people in my courses, students, like I literally was advising somebody that she needs more skin in the game and the path will appear and source will provide for her right before, and then this opportunity came and I was like, I had joined like the year-long program but not like the high level mastermind, and I'm like, oh, I'll just
Yeah,
like wait till next year. And then like my soul was like, do it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I just advised this woman on this, and I'm like, that was for me too. And so like
yep,
100%, like nobody needs a mentor, nobody needs to study, nobody needs like a community. But why do we want to do it alone? Like I'm done being a lone wolf. Like, and so many
yeah,
people I think enter the business world, which I do want to talk about because you're like watching like you like literally take off is like, oh, I'm so proud of you. It makes me so happy. But a lot of people come into this business world with this paradigm of like, just follow XYZ, or like kind of
yeah,
the corporate way, or like the bro marketing, or how to like I win and nobody else wins. And I'm like, one of the
right.
biggest keys is like collaboration. And whether that's with a community, whether that's with a mentor, whether that's with like a school, like it doesn't matter, but put yourself in environments that stretch you. Like
Yeah,
I used to travel a lot for that. Well, I say this and I just did, but um, I I remember I went through a big like dark night of the soul, ego death, I'll say, um, a death and rebirth like a year and a bit ago, and I went to like all these somatic events. So I'm like, I gotta transmute some stuff and I facilitate somatic work, but like I can't facilitate myself at this level. So I gotta be in a
Yeah.
community that's like literally raging. And last night I was out for dinner with some friends and I was like, I pulled a card for somebody on a breath work and it said passion. And I was like, hey, I was like, this is interesting. I like looked at it and it was like all about like transmuting rage. They're the same energy
Mm.
chakra, the solar plexus. And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, I know I have anger issues. People, and I was like, no, you don't. But your soul is calling you to transmute it, which means you need to go into it. And he's like, how do I do that? I'm like, somatic work, like sacred rage practices. And I was like, don't worry. People used to think I had anger problems too, and I transmuted a lot of rage. And now people think I'm too passionate for what I do. And I sent him. I looked at. I was like, oh, there's that reel. I didn't send him the reel because I was like, the reel is a bit much. But I sent him a screenshot because I'm at the head of the reel. It's on somebody else's page. And I'm like
Okay.
literally like raging. And he was like, we had this whole conversation. Um, like there was a bunch of us, but about like how to actually shift. And it's like really like surrounding yourself with people doing the work, the somatic work as
Yeah.
well. So important, like the energy work, the subconscious reprogram, like whatever way you do it. I forgot about hypnosis. I forgot we studied together. Um, whatever way you do it, but you like that stuff you can't
You can't
bypass.
bypass it.
It's so many, you can for a short period of time, but so
It's
many
not
people are trying to
sustainable.
avoid, yeah, the shame and
You'll
even
drop
like
back if you
exactly
try to bypass it. And then that causes even more cognitive dissonance in a person because they're trying to be like, oh, but I don't have to do this one piece. But then it it doesn't get transmuted. It doesn't fully transform into what it needs to
yeah,
be in order to propel you forward in like an expansive way. It holds you back with like a shackle of fear, if that makes sense.
literally like an energetic
Yeah.
crackle. And maybe you'll step out a bit, but then it's the elastic band and who you're around. If they're really doing the work, you'll be getting FOMO of like, oh, I don't want to be left behind.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing the work, you're gonna like kind of we calibrate to who we're around. And this actually goes into launches. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll segue this into launches because what most people are trying to do is avoid the shame. They're
Yes.
literally like, oh, what if nobody signs up? I can't put myself out there. Well, I put myself out there, nobody's buying. You, I literally cannot tell you how many times like I've had clients or people in my mastermind be like, oh, um, like nobody's buying this month. And I like look at their Instagram and I'm like, I don't see any offerings.
Nobody knows.
Like nobody knows. You have to actually offer. Like your
Yeah.
energy field will sell for you once you realize that you're the only one who can do what you can do in the way you can do it.
Yeah.
And that you have the skills and the wisdom and you're walking the path, which is why you have to walk the path if you're like guiding others on this path. You and I
Exactly.
both know this. Source will rip it up from you, you know, the jobs that are unaligned. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know, that's where we create in the void. But um most people are like they're it's almost like they're fantasizing. I'm all about visualization and creation through that, but it's like they're hiding in the shadows. And I even noticed myself
Right.
recently like hiding like from like what I really do. Like the core of everything I do is shadow work. It's literally
Yeah.
helping people access their power, potential, and purpose through integrating the shadow. Like
Yes.
shamanism, core imprint healing, subconscious reprogramming, like all of it comes down to like the shadow. And I'm like, oh, like I'm a prosperity coach or like I do energy healing. But that, you know, the breath work,
I
like
know. Yeah.
it's like that the first one you came to actually that a bunch of you signed up for the Reiki course, and I was like, oh, Source filled it for me because I was walking the
Hmm.
path. I remember getting up there and I'm like, does everyone ready to get into their shadows? And I was like even more like la-di-da than I am now, like bubbly. And then everyone's like, are you a dragon with like 8 arms? Like what happened? And I was like,
Yeah.
hide from what I actually, like until 2 days ago, like what I actually do. And I'm like, whoa, only the people who work with me know what I actually do. And where am I hiding this and where am I playing small? And so it's like this construct of like, what are people going to think? Are people going to make fun of me? All of our trauma, our bullying trauma, or I'm not included
Yeah.
trauma, I wasn't chosen trauma, I'm not worthy trauma comes up. And it's like, oh, if they sign up for the
Yeah.
offering, then I'm worthy. And if they don't sign up for the offering, I'm unworthy. And
And
when we're
another
out,
part to that though is like if they sign up for the offering that I realized that I had to overcome, which is something that like we worked on as well, was like if they sign up, then that means that they think I'm worthy, but I still don't, which makes me a fraud and a liar. So there was that on top of it. So I was damned if they signed up, and I was damned if they didn't sign
yeah,
up. So there was both ends of
imposter.
that too. Yeah.
I literally talked about this on the live podcast of Commanding Your Quantum Leap. Imposter syndrome, it's real and it never ends.
Yeah.
It never
Hmm.
ends. Like people always tell me, well, recently, it wasn't always a thing. It's recently, Jill, you're so confident. How are you so confident? I'm like, I'm not confident. I have embodied confidence energetically. They can feel that integrity in my field.
Yeah.
That's earned through courage of doing the
Hmm.
scary thing over and over and over and over and over again. And the somatic work. And so I realized it's like you can take the somatic work from a ceremony, and now I don't want to say the next level to that because I think I still do both, but another level to that that's so important. How do you integrate this into your life?
Yep.
Well, launch a course, launch a business, ask for a raise, all of this stuff. That is the final piece of action that hold the boundary, that codes it into your energy field.
Yeah.
And so um, basically, can I share what you said? Oh, I already shared it. Whatever, I'm going to re-say it.
I don't know what it is, but go for it.
Okay. So when we were working together and things started shifting and it's kind of like chaos at first because all the things that are unaligned start clearing and then we activate templates and the codes are in the field and actions
Yeah.
required and it's like all these puzzle pieces. It's literally like a whole journey.
Yes.
And it doesn't make sense at the time usually because you're like, oh, all my constructs are dying. And one thing I said to you was like, Megs, like because you were like kind of putting yourself out there, but not fully. And it was like a little bit
Oh,
tiptoeing.
yeah.
And because of that, am I good enough? Are my gifts good enough? Blah, blah, blah. And then you start practicing and be like, holy shit, like these are, I'm like, just give some free like sessions. Just like give some free sessions. Just
Just, yeah.
anchor in that you are good at this. Because sometimes we forget that. And I forget that I gave a bunch of free sessions at first. And there's an energy in which to do this from, not fawn response, which if you haven't watched the recording, go back to Soul Save September because oh no, it was from today. Okay, it's not
Okay.
but there's energy. There's an energetic that you can deposit it into the quantum bank as you're giving quote free offerings, so that it comes
Hmm.
back tenfold. There's certain energetics. We don't want to do it from a fawn response, but you needed to anchor into your field. Like I'm not crazy. I'm gifted. You seeing things in the quantum field is
Right.
actually a gift. Your intuition and these reads and these things that you just know, that's your intuition. That's your gift. And so
Yeah.
as you got feedback, it was like building, whoa, I'm actually good at this, you know? And, but what stops us from doing that or the offerings, um, is really like the feeling. It's like if we try and do it and nobody signs up, then like it's all the shame is like so intense. It's like humiliation. We just prove ourselves correct. But if we don't try and do it, then it's like whatever, we didn't try. And so like there's like we're justifying it. We're trying to protect our our we're trying to protect our quote false self-worth.
Right.
But the
Yeah.
portal to the actual self-worth is walking the path. And that
Yeah.
includes making the offering even when it's scary before everything's coded in your field, because you can code in your field that this is I'm the best at what I do in the world, which we all are the best at what we do. But then the act, once we've coded that in, the act is still scary because there's a deeper wound and
Yeah.
we're literally proving to ourselves what we're capable of. But that requires courage. And usually there's like a transmutation of the energy and a breakdown, a dissolving of the ego self. And then source catches us. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, our old self had to die. The unworthy self had to die in the face of putting ourselves out there, because shame can only live in secrecy in the shadows. So we're like, hey, it's me. And people are like saying all the things or like making fun of us or like, you know, I've been through all of it. Disowned
Yeah.
for a bit, like Jill's crazy, like get out of here. but then we find our people, and then the people who called us crazy come back, and they're like, "Can you
And
shave
they're
your
like, "Oh my
toes?
God, what are you doing?
What
Can
are
I have
you
a
doing?"
discount? Can I have a free session?" It's like, oh,
Yeah,
I remember when you were talking smack about me.
right. And they're like, "But this is part of the path. I realize this is an
Yeah.
initiation of not needing external validation and doing it for the guidance of source and for
And yeah,
ourselves and walking."
exactly.
Yeah. And I said to you, I'm like, Migs, nobody signed up for my first Reiki course. And you're like, what?
That
Wait,
was
what?
insane when you told me that because, yeah, I feel like people look at you all the time now and they're like, "Oh my God, you're doing so good and you make all this money and you're traveling and you have just like a charmed life. Oh, ha ha ha, like she didn't do anything to get there." And it's like, no, it's easy to see people that have success and have prolonged and anchored in success and assume that they never went through the hardships of
Yeah.
having to actually go through these gates of like
Yes.
gates of transmutation where you when you
Yes.
said like I nobody signed up for your first Reiki, that clicked so hard for me. I don't have Snap, but imagine I just did.
Yeah.
But it clicked so hard for me because I was like, holy shit. Like, I am not alone in this journey of like going through this
Yeah.
because there had been that uncertainty. And I was like, I don't know if I can get people. And if I do get people, there's imposter syndrome. And if I don't get people, then it's just going to reinforce what I had already believed about myself. And there
Yes.
was another piece that you mentioned as well that I really wanted to like, bring back again was where you were talking about people that like visualization is an incredible tool. Like all of the athletes use it in order to visualize themselves succeeding and it helps to prime their mind to like doing the thing. But
Yeah.
there are people that get so stuck in it and I find that that's so common, especially in like the self-development or spiritual world where people just get stuck on the I'm just going to
Yeah.
visualize or use positive affirmations, but really all that it's actually meant to do is to bring the possibility back to your mind. And when your
Yeah.
mind realizes the possibility is there, it causes excitement. Excitement is what is going to draw your soul forward in a way that's expansive and aligned. So it's really just a tool to help you anchor into the emotion of that vision, anchor into what the vision possibility is for you, because the vision is always like 10 times bigger and way more surprising and wonderful than what your own mind could have come up with. But that's what pulls you forward. So the aligned action piece is like so key. And when you told me about like your Reiki and having nobody in the first one, that was like permission that I can take this aligned action. And regardless of what happens, it doesn't matter. It's as long as I stay connected to my emotion, that excitement, and that vision. It will have
Yeah.
to show up eventually. Like,
Yes.
go out and ask a new person out on a date every day. Ask like one person, it's probably you're gonna get nobody. If you ask like 1,000 people, you're probably gonna get a few yeses, and maybe some creeps are gonna
Yeah.
try to kiss you immediately and be like, finally, the person I've always been waiting for. But
Yes.
yeah.
Literally. I had this conversation last night with a friend who is like talking about, he's like, well, what if I fail? And women are like wanting men to be like so grounded and like
Mm,
successful, and now it's all this, and this dude's like very successful, and I'm like, okay, yes to all of that, and like a protector and a provider, and like, what if I can't, and can I take this risk in my business, and like he has a really successful business, and I'm like, there is no failure. The only failure is you giving up. Time is the only variable. If you decide I'm doing this thing, or this is happening, this is what I'm creating, and you actually align to it, like you said, and I say this all the time. Like people are like, I'm not motivated. I'm like, you're not motivated. You don't have a vision. You're not anchored to the vision. The vision
yeah.
pulls us. Like you said, it gives us the energy, and then we're inspired, and then we just take the action because we're in
That
that
is
frequency.
motivation.
Yes.
Exactly.
So it's like they're not lacking it. They're just not connected to the vision. You explained that like so well. So like I gotta re-listen to
Oh.
these because dang, that was good.
Thank you.
Um, but like there is no failure. It's just, are we going to give up on ourselves? And it is the hero's journey. And the moment we
Hmm.
decide no, no matter what, because there's initiations, there's there's challenges in it to become the version of ourselves that's already matched to that thing. And we can't just sit here and meditate. You know, I'm all about meditations and activations. Like I
Yeah.
preach this stuff, I facilitate it, I do it myself, I love it. But I also take action. I use that to get to the energy, and then I take the aligned action. And sometimes I just take the aligned action, and it's scary.
Yep.
And like you said, like, yeah, people look at me sometimes and they're like, they just like think things just the things did just click and happen. But I've gone through so many initiations, and it's not like I went through them and now I'm here. I still
Yeah.
go through them like every day. It's like another level of, oh, can I hold this boundary with this client or this person in my life? Oh, this isn't actually aligned in my life. Now I have to have a difficult conversation, and that's scary, and that requires courage, and this dynamic between us like needs to shift, or it needs
Yeah.
to exit my life. Like these things are part of the game. And like I can, like, last weekend, for example, there was like a couple of really difficult conversations that I had to have, and they were so beautiful because like on the other side of these, like there's vulnerability creates deeper connection, right?
Yeah.
But that's embodied leadership. And leadership, if I were to a successful business, whatever that means, because I literally still don't know what that means. But if I were to put that down to one word, it's leadership. It's leading myself and proving to myself every single day, doing the hard things. And then now the energy's in my field, and now it's in the business because the business is an extension of me.
Yeah.
And then how do I show up as I'm leading like a community? Because I started doing like I started with Reiki, like one-on-one sessions. And
Yep.
then I started doing like group things in my apartment by donation. And it was like a little bit of a bigger group. So I had to like increase my capacity. I had to step into a deeper level of leadership. Then it was online
Yeah.
courses and trainings. And like each level, I'm tested, I'm growing. It's like, where's my boundaries? And at each level, we have to become a new version of ourselves. And that is so scary because are people
Yeah.
going to be mad? Can I be that way? I need to help everybody. I need to be the nice person. Um, like all of these things. And then more and more people want our time. They want our attention. They want our energy. And we have to make sure we're taking care of us first. And so it all comes so that we can offer our gifts from a powerful place and be the
Yes.
embodiment of not trying to get from other people, but offering, and there be sacred reciprocity. And so
Yeah.
yeah, like when I said that, I was like, I don't know, just came through one day. I'm like, nobody signed up, like and that was a thing, and you were kind of like stuck in this like, okay, one offer, and I was dipping toes in, and then like it's like boom, 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 and then Megs is like, fucking, you're sending me, I did these reads, and like this happened, and this happened, and like, how did you know this? And like, oh my god, and your gifts are just like starting to pop and pop and pop, and then like your posts, I'm like, I could feel the energy behind your posts, and you're like talking about people being stuck and what's actually going on in your journey with that you
Yes.
shifted. And then
Owning my
times were,
own journey, because I also
yes,
saw you doing that more recently, like over the last couple of years, and that
yeah,
was so incredible because like that vulnerability piece that you talked about of like how that actually just like draws more people in, but from a genuine deep understanding and knowing and connection place. It's from
yeah,
a place where it's like it's so beautiful to be vulnerable. Whereas
yeah,
prior to working and doing any of this energy work, I was
yeah,
so afraid of vulnerability. I felt like it was making me weak. And so like that was huge though for me,
yeah,
was really anchoring that in. And then also the other thing was anchoring in again to my alignment and my alignment with source because
yeah.
I had tried to do the whole like ChatGPT can write stuff for me and I was like, ugh, it's gonna make me throw up. It's so bad. And like
Never
it was
works.
never getting what I wanted it to say. Like it really had to be like a soul, I don't even know how to say it, like just a soul creation, just allowing it to flow out. So
Yeah,
that was huge. Yeah.
yeah, and that's it. Like, and I noticed, like, I remember they just started. I remember there was one post, and I was like watching you. I was watching you start to put your gifts out and like tiptoe, and then you're giving these like offerings, and then you were like, oh shit, like these are gifts. Like these are like, this is like, my gifts are on point, and you were anchoring that in. And then it was like trickle, like all of these like pieces started coming together. And I was like, she got it. I saw one of your posts, and it wasn't just what it said, it was what it said, but there's an energetic frequency to what we
Yeah,
write in an email, to what we write on a post. It's not just a text. This is why, oh, I made $1 million with this post or this email funnel. Like, no, it's their energetic frequency that's now encoded in that. So somebody else can use that
exactly.
work. And so you
Yeah,
got it. It like clicked. And
yeah,
then it was like boom, boom. And now every single post I see of yours, it's like fire. Like I feel the energy, and
yeah,
they're so powerful. And your clients are feeling the energy, and you're magnetizing them.
yeah,
And that was so good about the vulnerability, because like vulnerability is scary. It is like it requires
yeah,
such courage. It is so scary. And I know for myself, like being on this journey, the most powerful shifts in my life have happened through vulnerable conversations, whether it's like sharing my journey online, or like mostly like my personal ones, or like with family, or just like that's harder for me actually than like sharing stuff online. Of course, it's very vulnerable sharing stuff online. Like so many people know so much about my life, and that's a whole other thing. But I never thought I would do that. It was just like Source was like, tell this story, and I'm like, I can't tell that story. Like, absolutely not. And I was like, I gotta tell
yeah,
the story, and I was shocked every time I tell a story that's like really powerful and vulnerable, how many people it's helped. And then like clients find me through that. That's not my intention. My intention is not to share the story so clients find me. I mean, data was birthed out of like my real spiritual awakening, which I will finish that story. It's been 10 episodes, but for the podcast. But like I just need to take a break. It was very heavy. But I was like, wow, so many people are going through similar situations, and like everything
yeah,
I learned, and like a number of private clients messaged me, or people messaged me being like, I need to work with you, and became private clients. And like I never thought that. I just kept hearing my soul say like, you need to tell this story. And I was like, so like, oh, I can. Like people can't know that. Like people are gonna judge me. Again, they're gonna think I'm crazy, or like not. Like it was a lesson in discernment of,
yeah,
and like, oh, how can I teach this? And then I got blindsided, and like, and I'm like, this is the path. Like I don't care what people say. Like I need to share it. And I cried during a lot of it, and like claimed my power back through that. Was like, no, I'm share this in reverence, because this is
yeah,
happening to people, and I'm seeing I still see it all the time. Like a lack of discernment in like medicine communities, of thinking they're hearing their soul or source,
oh my
and
God.
the things that they're saying, and I'm like, oh my god, and I'm like, it's trickery, it's a trap. But here's the thing
It
with that:
is.
80% of it is truth. But it's an inversion of the code, so it feels so real. You're like, this is
Yeah,
true, and it's euphoric. But 20% is distortion. It's riddled with distortion. That's how they get you.
yeah.
So
It's
I'm
in order
grateful.
to keep people hooked and like needing to
Yes.
go back. I just experienced something kind of similar. I agree fully. Like I've been through the plant medicine lifestyle. I
Yeah.
never got too deep into it, thankfully, because I like had a feel there was something wackadoodle going on in the energetics within it. Um,
Doodle.
leaves like a gazillion fissures in your field. Thank you, Jill, for helping me figure out and heal those. Um,
Yeah,
but
fissure
then
hooks.
the same
Sharp
thing I
hooks.
think can also happen with, I noticed people that are really interested in working with spirit guides. Like a
Oh yeah.
lot of the spirit guides, just gonna fucking say it. Oh my God, I did say the F word finally.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Wear a
fucking
lot.
say it. Like the spirit guides are not, it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing with the trickery and with the
Yes.
dependence and with the like, hey, let me give you a bunch of this stuff. It's like an abusive relationship, but I'm just gonna shoot you in the kneecap so you can't walk away.
Yeah.
It's that exact same thing.
It,
It is not source.
yeah. So a lot of people don't, yeah, they're just, let me see this sign or this and that. And I'm like, there's a lot of like dark forces that work through signs. I mean, I thought I had met my soulmate, and I was like, oh, I was afraid of love. And there were all these signs, and we were in the same place at the same time. And even though I knew it wasn't him because I'd already broken up with him, I wasn't
Yeah.
clear. And it's because of these other energetics I got hooked into and implants. And this was not the way the conversation was going, but I guess we're going here. And then overnight, I thought I was in love with him, and I was like, all these synchronicities, and I'm like in surrender, and I was in surrender, and I needed to go through that. I'm grateful because I learned so much discernment. I didn't know this existed, and it just gave me such a deeper understanding with all the things I learned through that and getting out of that of what voices to listen to, because clear audience is a real thing, and like that's one of my main gifts that I'm using right now. But making sure I'm talking to source or my higher self, the light, only light beings, because there's
Yeah.
other energetics in the field, and they'll work through these intuitive hits or downloads, and it's rampant on plant medicine. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying that your auric field is now split wide open, and you can get these downloads. And I've had people
Yeah.
say like the craziest things that they got a download and it was God, and like, I mean, there's stories out there on the media you guys can look into as well. Like, if you're connected to your heart, that's distortion, and a
Yeah.
lot of it's working through relationship. A lot of it's trying to pull apart union and the family unit. There's a massive attack on that, and there's a massive
Yeah.
attack on like collaboration and co-creation. And so this is where, yeah, the like discernment is needed in the spiritual
Yeah.
communities. How did we even get on this topic? Oh, we were talking about
I
how
don't
all
even
these things,
know.
your clients started getting magnetized to you,
Oh
and
yeah.
and I mean, you've had a lot of experiences with like seeing, things in other realms, being like, this is light, this is not light, and like a lot of discernment lessons and like learning
Yeah.
energy protection and all of that, which is like you went through some of your challenges in your life to learn what was out there and what was distortion, and to learn what was true light, your true
Yeah.
soul. And that's also what makes you a very powerful healer and facilitator, because you have discernment even when
Which
you're
also
channeling.
was so scary to lean into because for so long I was like, no, I'm becoming schizophrenic or something. Like,
Oh yeah.
where is this coming from? I would have
Yeah.
these experiences that were so like jarring in terms of reality, and then really just knowing and working with you because you understand the energetics to such a deep level. And I knew that when I worked with you, there was another thing you mentioned, like you don't need a person. That was the difference between me investing into our private one-on-one, was
Hmm.
I didn't feel that I needed it. I just
Yeah.
felt that I would really love this as part of my expansion. So that was
Yeah.
so foreign to me at the time, but I decided to go with it. But anyway, back to what I was saying before. Yeah, it was definitely like, what was I saying? I don't remember. The discernment piece though,
Yeah.
learning that was actually not that hard when I realized that I already had a gift of discernment, but I
Yeah.
was scared to look at it or to actually embody it.
Okay, we have to talk about this for a second. So
Okay.
thank you. Two things. Thank you for saying that, because I never want anyone to feel like they need to work with me.
Yeah.
This is where a lot of like people get entrapped. And Jess actually said years ago when she worked with me, like, because we did some privates. She did a reel on this, so I'm not out in anything. She literally said it in a reel or a screenshot or something. It's a testimonial. She was like, you're the only person I've worked with that I didn't feel like made me dependent, and I needed to work with them. And this is a big thing for me when I invest. It's not like I need to work. If somebody's making me like dependent on them, I'm like, oh, red flag. This should be
Yeah.
a red flag for all y'all. So thank you for that. And then the other thing is, this is what the other energetics don't, when people are like stuck on and they're not on soul path, they're like, how do I get out of this like freaking box that my soul is like wanting to do this thing
Yeah.
and I feel stuck? There's other things that are like trying to kind of entrap you because they're trying to control you. And so with what happened, and I saw this happen with you and I've seen it happen with other people, is like,
Yeah.
oh, these other energetics don't exist, like it's BS, like darker energies. And
Yeah.
then and there's fear around it, right? Especially if you're seeing, because one of your big gifts is clairvoyance, if you're seen in the quantum field, and then it's like there's so much fear, and I get it, because same thing, I was like, am I schizophrenic? I was seeing a
I
lot of
thought I was
stuff.
hallucinating like demons and like crazy beings. Like,
Yeah, 100%. And so, but that's where your gifts are, right? And this is
right.
why other energies don't want you to have the tools. And then when you did data, well, at
Yeah.
first you're like, I don't know if I want to do this when you're in it. Anyways, like, just wait. And then, and like, I heard you sent me a message, of which I won't say what it is, but I was like, it was like, no, she needs this, and like, she'll come
Yeah.
around, and, or it's important for her to have this. You were already in it. But anyways, and then,
Infiltration.
yeah, infiltration. And
That's
then
what it
you
was.
started applying the tools, and you're like, holy Toledo. And they're powerful tools, and they're quite simple, but very powerful. And they
Yeah.
make a big difference. And like, this is where I also witnessed your gifts, like when you were giving reads, because one of the things for anybody who's getting an intuitive read from somebody, like, please make sure they have discernment and tools to only talk to the light and the highest. Otherwise, you are
Yeah.
just setting yourself up on a not cool path. Um, but I saw your gifts start to really pop after that, because the signal was now clear. What was coming
Yes.
through you was like, and this is why it resonated on such a big level, such a deep core level with those who you were facilitating, um, and will continue to, right? So yeah, there's a lot of people that are like, I don't want to talk about that. That's scary. And I'm like, if you have the tools, it becomes not scary. You
Yeah.
all of a sudden have swords, and I have my shamanic tool here. This isn't one of them from data, but like, you have swords, and like, can cut things and clear things and protect things. And now you have
Yeah.
superpowers. And that's why you
It's
don't need
literally
weapons.
like not knowing how to drive and then being told to drive a car. Of course it's going to be scary. You know, other people are doing it, but like get the freaking driving lessons. Go practice it a little bit. And then you'll be fine. You can go on the road with other people there and it's not going to be scary.
100%, a
Yeah.
100%. And it's like, they don't want people empowered. And when we don't know about something, we're a slave to that. It's like the shadow. Whatever's in our shadow, we're a slave to, and we call it fate. Carl Jung. So true. But same thing with these other things. We don't know how, like, if we don't know the matrix, the money matrix, for example, if we don't understand how it works, we're literally a slave to it.
Yeah.
When we start to understand how it works, we start to unravel the lies and the distortion, and then we start to become sovereign and be able to work with it,
Yeah.
like, beyond it. And so, yeah, I see it a lot.
Collaboration, work with it. Collaborate with
Yes,
it. Yeah.
yes,
That's
I
so
love that.
key. I love that
And
so much.
this happens mostly with very gifted, very powerful healers. Like, they will do everything to pull them off track. And I
Yeah.
saw you like weed through, and you're like claiming your power back piece by piece, because you are very powerful. Like, you're very powerful. You're very gifted. You're like
Thank
super
you.
happy, but your energy is like, whoo, right?
Yeah.
And so, of course, they don't want you sovereign and powerful. And here you are, sovereign and powerful, and
Yep.
continue to walk the walk. Yeah. So why
Which
don't we talk?
has been a freaking journey as well. Like you said, you're like you just keep doing the shadow work, keep doing the growth, keep going through more and more initiations. And I've like definitely gotten to a whole new level that I never would have imagined that I would be at. Like since we did our one-on-one stuff, I'm like, I'm blown away by it. But then also I'm like, oh my God, now I'm going through more initiations, but I have the tools that I can
Yeah.
actually like overcome, grow, and learn and like just continue to orient myself more and more towards my alignment, more and more towards walking that soul path and staying on it. Staying on it is like the biggest key for me, is just, and helping other people to do that. But sorry, I cut you off.
Don't say sorry. No, no, that was great. This is
Okay, I
this is
take it
you
back then,
walking the
Jill.
path.
Yeah,
So leadership is the highest. The highest level of leadership is embodiment.
yeah,
And so you walking the path, you just become the leader that people are like, whoa, I want to learn from her. I want to train with her. I want to be a client of hers. Like, I want her guidance, because you're walking the path, and the path never ends. The journey never ends. And I don't
yeah,
think it actually gets easier, but we get stronger. So we have more faith in going through the initiations, at a higher level, and the ones we look back on that we thought were so big or we're like laugh about, right?
Yeah,
Because we have the
exactly.
tools and you keep applying them over and over and over again. And it's just, and then we can guide other people through that path that we're walking. And sure, we
Yeah.
might have been on the path longer or committed to it more, and now we can guide people from where we are. It's in the hero's journey. It's the mentor archetype, right? We're not walking
Yeah.
the journey for them. We're guiding them through it because we get it, we see it, and we can
Yeah.
see it at a greater level than they can see it. So we can give them exactly what they need at the exact moment without enabling them.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing. So why don't you tell people a little bit about your work? So obviously you're a healer, you're an
Yes.
intuitive, you do subconscious reprogram. Who is your who do you help? Who like what is your main? I don't want to say niche because you are the niche, but
Yeah.
the the people that right now you're most inspired to help, um, based on your journey and everything you've been through and all the tools you have that you
Yeah.
facilitate them through and share with them as well.
I would say that honestly, like the people that I help everyone, but more so lately, I've been really drawn to helping specifically women, women that are business owners, women that are like high achieving women. They're always out there doing stuff. And yet it's this feeling that they've been having that although they seem to do everything right on paper, they're in the wrong fucking place. Their alignment is off, whether that
Yeah,
be in their relationship, whether that be continually chasing or running out of a fear state. I'm helping those people to move back and also to find their soul alignment and to stick with that path because that is the most like I don't even know. It's just an insanely rewarding place to be because it
so
just
rewarding.
continues to compound and allows you to keep growing. When you're not growing, you're shrinking. You're becoming stagnant. And when you're
Yeah,
stagnant, it's like a puddle. It's like it just evaporates up and then all the juice is out of there. So
yeah,
helping people to replenish that source and continue to replenish source from through themselves, not through me, not through anybody else, not through external
yeah,
validation, but all
yeah,
of that. Um,
yeah,
that's kind of like the really the only thing that I've been doing lately. I also say women because I find that they're more drawn to work with me. So that's
love that.
typically women.
Yeah,
There, I have a
yeah,
couple men I've worked with, but yeah,
super cool. Yeah, this is so interesting because that was your path. You're like so you were so successful at corporate, you were so good at corporate, so good at sales, and you're like trying to
yeah,
cling on to this thing, but your soul was like shrinking and dying and got pulled
yep,
out of attunements and energy work and shamanism. It's called the shamanic path, shamanic death. Here we
yep,
go. And so now it's I don't want to say easy for you to guide people through this, but it's in your bones. It's wisdom. It's embodied wisdom. And so you can see things that they
yeah,
can't see. You've been through the path and you're on the path. Just you're beyond where they are on that specific path. And this is how the
yeah.
soul path works, which is why we go through our own initiations. And yeah, I would say that that's where it is so rewarding, but it's not
Yeah. I'm not
easy.
doing it for the reward. I'm doing it because I'm like, this is life. This is
Yeah.
aliveness. This is
Yes.
the gift that we all are here to experience. So like
Yeah.
I love to share that ability with other
Yes.
people as well. Like I just have such a deep passion for helping people to like get to that
Yeah.
place because I'm like, you can do it. You could all do it. Like I know you can. And then the other thing I've been doing recently, which is so interesting,
Yeah.
Jill, because as we were talking
What?
about psychic gifts,
Yeah.
I've seen you just go off the walls, flourishing up and out of this atmosphere, and I don't even know what universe you're in on that now because it's been incredible since I first met you, like when you were doing the dry breath work at that time, like
Yeah.
2021, all the
Yeah.
way to now. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's just channeling all the time. But I'm really in like it feels like if I was to make a comparison, which is like again, a thing where I've been working to overcome, but like
Yeah.
I find that sometimes my mind will tell me like, oh, but you're just in your infancy of it. But that's also the most freeing thing is because I'm like, as I continue to do readings, as I continue to do channeling, like you said, it's like the free sessions. Just do the thing, get proof that this
Yeah.
is where you're at, because
Yeah.
there's those four quadrants of like competence. You'll
Yes.
never know where you're at, and in order to get to eventually be unconsciously competent, which is
Yeah.
where it's second nature and you just do it and it's easy
Yeah.
for you because you embody it so deeply,
Yeah.
that does take that courage to like open up and just be like, you know what, I don't care. I'm gonna just go try riding a bike. And if I fall off and bruise my knee, like so be it. I'm just gonna get back on the bike again.
Exactly.
Um,
We
yeah,
gotta like cultivate these gifts as a craft. We're all
yes,
gifted. Who's gonna cultivate them as a craft? And that takes practice. And I love that you're
exactly.
like, oh, I'm in the infancy and you telling you that. I tell myself that like basically every day. I'm like, gonna learn something new.
Yeah,
And every day it's like if we can have this kind of like beginner's curiosity always, like I've been doing this for years, like at
yeah.
like 7 years, like not as a full-time job for 7 years, but like
Been on the
I've been,
path at
yeah,
least for
well,
that
let's be
long.
honest, I've been doing this
Longer.
basically my whole life, like seeing things and whatever and
Yeah,
manifesting before I ever taught it. But like, okay, started my first business in it 7 years ago.
right.
And maybe 6 years ago. I don't know. Time's an illusion. And like the last few years have been doing it really full time and like throughout it building my capacity. Like the other day I messaged my business partner for our mastermind and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I landed from LA, literally hopped on a call with her, hopped on a call with somebody else. It was like 10 p.m. I got to get some food, went to bed. The next day I had like 6 hours of like channeling and energy work. And then like the next day I'm like, I don't even know where this capacity came from, but I've been building it.
Yeah,
And it's not like I go in and I'm like, oh, I just know all the things. It's like, even when I'm teaching, it's all these downloads of things coming through that I'm learning just as much as I'm teaching. And I think the moment we come to, I know everything and I'm on the other side now and I'm on my freaking ivory tower pedestal, we're screwed. Because there's
that's
always
the
something else
trap.
to learn. And like
Yeah,
we're always a beginner of the next level. And it's like you say that
exactly.
I'm like listening to you, I'm like, I don't consider you a beginner. Like I've seen you, you're so freaking gifted. I've seen you in trainings, I've seen you outside of trainings. Like you are very, very gifted and intuitive. And it's beautiful that you're like, okay, I'm like looking at this like a beginner because you're
Yeah,
constantly learning then. And if we're not
exactly.
open to learning, like good luck becoming the unconscious competent. And then there's another level. Like it's like we reach it there. It's like you'll reach it in Reiki or you'll reach it in like facilitating breath work or you'll reach it
Yeah,
in like womb wisdom stuff or you'll reach it in doing intuitive reads. But then there's like, hey, but now there's another level of intuitive read. Now
right.
there's like another level of reading the energy field. Now there's like maybe you want to do with investments now, or maybe it's like a bigger thing, or it's an emotional thing, and now you
Yeah,
have to train yourself. And there's always another level. This is how you become a master at what you do and a master of your craft. And
yeah,
if everyone was just like there's a difference between a gift and a craft. Those who are training constantly, whether it's like channeling for yourself or using energy work on yourself. Man, I used energy work on myself way before I ever used it on other people.
yeah,
Like every single day, when I got before I started facilitating Reiki, I did like my 21-day thing on level 1 and 2 and 3, and the rest is history after that, right? That allowed me to cultivate that energy and now share it as a facilitator. But the moment we're if you really want to be on soul path, that requires your sacred gifts.
yeah,
That also requires a craft training. In
yeah,
order to charge money, it's not just a gift, it's a craft. It's trained, it's refined, and that never ends. And
yeah,
so there's a level where you're like, now I'm competent, and like unconscious, it could be conscious competence too. You could charge for conscious competence, and then it becomes unconscious, and then there's another level, and now you're becoming the category of one because you're weaving different gifts, and you can
yeah,
do something that nobody else can in the way that you can do it because of your wisdom of the soul path and your skills and training that you've made literally a craft
yeah.
versus oh, I took this, or I have these gifts, but like discernment. I'm channeling, but I don't know what I'm talking to. So that's a gift.
Right.
That's not a craft.
Yeah.
A craft is a refinement. And when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. And this is where we got to step in and have the courage to walk on this soul path. And it's so scary because we're like,
Yeah.
where's the money coming from? Am I good enough? Like I'm being called to do this. Oh no, I have to speak in front of these people. I have to show my gift. I have to tell them I do this. It's
Yeah.
scary. I have to have this conversation. I have to come out of the spiritual closet or whatever it is with my family, like whatever it is, right? It's like so scary. And that's where it's like, that's really walking the path. And
Yep.
we have to, there's recalibrations and we have to face our biggest fears in doing that. And time
Which
again.
is
And it's so,
also like the most beautiful thing of like of ever.
it's so beautiful. And spinning this back to what I said earlier, I forgot, this is how we gain confidence.
Yeah,
It's
this is.
embodied confidence. It's not some mental construct because you went to a personal development conference. It is embodied confidence. I was listening to
Yeah.
something my mom sent me on horses the other day, and like embodied confidence.
Yeah.
And it's like this deep knowing. And it said the horse that has the most experience becomes the leader. And it's always a woman. It's always a woman. And the man backs it up.
Oh,
Masculine energy.
yeah.
Intuition leads, masculine energy backs it up.
Right.
And I was like, oh, through the experience, the horse gains that wisdom and now becomes a leader, not because somebody appointed them as a leader, because they're embodying leadership. They're not a boss.
Yeah. Wait, this is all about horses?
Well, I'm like, Mom, you sent me a documentary on humans and leadership and business. I'm like, yeah, but we
Oh,
were
I
talking about
love
masculine.
that. Wait, I
I'll
will
send,
love that horse
yeah,
documentary then, please. I'm so
remind me.
excited.
It's a
Yes.
podcast. Okay.
Okay.
I have a couple more minutes. Let's wrap this up. My phone's coming to an end.
Yes.
I'm excited to see you for oysters next week.
Me too.
Back
Oh
to
my
what we
gosh.
just said. Okay,
Full
so
circle.
what were we talking about? Okay, so Jill, come back to Earth. What else do you have to share? If there's anything else on your heart, we're going to take you so people can find you if they're feeling like, whoa, I'm not on soul path and I feel drawn to work with Megan. And I'm inspired by her story and she's going to help me with motivation, innate motivation and the subconscious mind or channeling energy work, whatever you feel called to.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you mix them all in your sessions.
I mix everything all together and I don't really talk about what I use as like the modality
Okay.
because there's so many that I draw from for each
Yeah.
session. Um,
Yeah.
but I do find that two things I rely on often is because a lot of my clients are actually not in the spiritual world at all. They might be into meditation or they might be into mindset stuff, but from a personal development standpoint, which has absolutely nothing to do with like soul alignment, obviously, when you talk about it in
Yeah.
a personal development sense. So I
Yeah.
do find myself using, I would consider it like a dialect. So a lot of
Yeah.
people that I work with only speak personal development dialect. It's like an English
Okay.
accent, but it's the exact
Yeah.
same thing as an American accent. You're saying the same thing, just sounds a
Yeah.
little bit different. So,
Yeah.
um, I've been working a lot with people on bridging between both of those sides, the scientific side, the three-dimensional side, the personal development side of things, and then explaining how that is actually going to give them the exact same benefit through the spiritual lens of it as well. And then when they see
Yeah.
that, it really just kind of like helps them to open up and flourish so much more because now
Yeah.
they have a deeper understanding of the exact same thing that they had been looking for all along, which you can be looking for one thing all along, but until you see it objectively in its entirety, will the pieces start falling together for you, coming together for you.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
really working with people that haven't had necessarily an upbringing or an openness to the spiritual side
Yeah.
has been really, really crazy learning how to do that. So, I would say, um, yeah, that is the thing that
I
was
love
kind of
that.
on my heart.
It's so important. So you're like bridging the gap because when I was
Yeah.
younger, I was very into personal development, but I didn't think I was like spirituality. What's that? What's the
Yeah.
soul? I had no concept. It was
I was like,
completely out of
no
my
such
body.
thing.
Yeah, no, I really thought that, even though as
Yeah.
a child, I studied Reiki as a child the first time and like seen things, but I shut it all down because I got shamed for it. And so then I had a radical spiritual awakening. But it's so important to start bridging this gap. And like, yeah, I really admire when people can, really ground these concepts and facilitate it from a more 3D place,
Yeah.
because I struggle with that sometimes, if I'm completely honest. At first, I was really good at it. I'm
Yeah.
starting a thing called the Prosperity Portal. It's going to be a membership in October, and it'll be live, like two things. Well, let me just talk about it quickly. So we'll do breath work once a month, and then either an activation or an energy boost and dark force clearing, and then mini intuitive reads. So we'll meet twice a month. But in the back end of the portal, there's like all these masterclasses, like all these courses, and basically all my courses and masterclasses that aren't my main 3 signature courses, because I run those
Right.
live. But I was like listening to some of the courses, and I was like, I was so good at explaining like the science and the foundation and the logic and like the quantum physics and the quantum physics behind all this, because I got into this world in a very science way and like the neural
Yeah.
pathway stuff. And now I'm like so in like the soul path and like, I don't want to say the woo because I'm a Capricorn and I 5 house in Capricorn. I feel like I'm very grounded and 3D.
Yeah.
But I, because I'm have had so many experiences, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like there's like simple ways of explaining these things, but I work now with people more on the nuances and the
Yeah.
micro shifts that cause a massive shift. But it's more people that I work with already have like a basic understanding, and I'm not convincing them of like this stuff. So it's
Yeah.
so important we have people like you. Hi, Jess. It's so important we have people like you that are like bridging that gap
Yeah.
and have the gifts and the healing and the clear vision and the discernment, but also can bridge it and help people understand that aren't necessarily where you are spiritually on a human level, but their soul might be. Um,
Right.
so I love that. So we're gonna take you.
Thank
Uh,
you.
of course, we'll pop it on the podcast too, and we'll pop it on the podcast. We'll take all Meg's info. Check her out. She's amazing. She's very, very gifted, and I'm just like celebrating you and your path and like where your business has gone. It's like, it just like warms my heart. It's been such a journey. Like, it's so beautiful witnessing your journey from the day we met. We,
Thank
yeah,
you.
selling water is where we first met, and then it was the breath work, and then Reiki, and like,
Yeah. And
oh,
then it
so
just turned out that that soul path trajectory was wild. Just absolutely my Lanta, Jill. I can't even like 1, 3, 5. I have no idea. It's been
it's
insane.
like people are like trying to figure out. I was talking about this today on Soul Sale September, and like we chat. I'm like looking at the stuff, and I'm like, they're like trying to figure out. They're like connecting these dots, and like, was my vision incorrect? Like my heart saying this, my mind saying this, and I'm like, the mind doesn't know the soul path. The soul remembrance does. And so when we
Yeah.
start to follow the soul, like it all reveals and we remember on the soul level and we're like, oh, that
Yeah.
that energy, that relationship, that even my mind, I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to be in a year. I have visions. I have things that I am aligning to, but the biggest recalibration that I follow is that of my soul and my heart. And then
Hmm.
everything comes as a byproduct of that. The downloads, oh, I need to launch this thing. Oh, I need to do this podcast. Oh, I need to start a healing school. Like all of that. Oracle Wisdom Academy is coming. It's coming, okay? Probably February.
Okay.
But we'll have the applications before then, which is a full, long healing program of the soul pull, facilitating jive breath work, shamanism, womb wisdom, intuition, all of it, and really
Yeah.
activating everybody's individual gifts in an environment and a community that supports one another. Um, it's going to be really powerful. I'm so excited for everybody. And then they can
I'm
take
so
these
excited.
gifts out to like more people. And also,
Yeah.
I'm doing like bigger breathwork ceremonies eventually. with more facilitators because, energy protection is a thing.
Yeah.
My capacity is
And
limited.
capacity.
Yes, especially in
Yeah.
person. So, okay. Thank you so much, Megs. I freaking love you. I'm excited for Oysters next week to hug you in person. Thank you for coming on.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, send me all. Do you have a website? I can't remember.
I don't. I just
You don't?
have
Okay,
Instagram. Yeah.
great. I will
Maybe
send
I'll make a website one day, but
one. This is another thing. You don't even need a website to start a business. I started mine way before
no.
I had a website, and then I made one, and then it didn't work. And Jill's tech stuff
Yeah.
spent so long in it. And then I did hire somebody eventually, but like website is not the main thing. Making the course is not the main thing. Like start
No.
practicing your craft, offer your offerings, make the course live, run the course live, learn individually what people need, see the common thread, the common theme, and then launch the course. And then you
Exactly.
can put it on, I don't really recommend Evergreen because of the energetics, but you can relaunch it with that course there. And now you have just calls to support people, like Q&A calls, support calls, check-in calls. So just, yeah, and you know all about this with the subconscious mind and what actually blocks
Yeah.
people. That. So anyways, reach out to Megs. We'll take her. And thank you again for coming on. Big hugs.
Thanks for having me. Okay,
Of
bye.
course. Bye. Hello, Sacred Soul. I hope you loved that episode. And if you did, I would so appreciate if you could share and tag me on the social medias at Jill Alana Nixon. And if this brought you value, I would be eternally grateful if you could leave a 5-star review. And if you did, take a picture and email it to teamjillalana.nixon@gmail.com, and we will gift you a free cord cutting soul revival mini activation, a Jai activation. Put that in the show notes, the email, and thank you so much. We will see you again next week on the Prosperity Portal podcast.